Hello, welcome back to my channel. Sorry I've been away for a while. I lost a bit of focus. I've now decided I'm going to really concentrate on enjoying the simulator and enjoying the flying, and then the videos will be more enjoyable. They'll be just nice to have. Really grateful for everyone's support, for those who've subscribed. And if you want to subscribe to this video, please click subscribe. If you like the video, please click like and leave any comments. I love to hear from you, and I always respond. So this video is about the new JustFlight Vulcan. Okay, so we've been waiting for the JustFlight Vulcan for quite a while. This is a great example of an aircraft that you can really enjoy flying. And this one is for Microsoft Flight Simulator. JustFlight have really done a great job. I'm going to have a look at the Vulcan cockpit, the way the Vulcan can be configured, and then I'll do a separate video which will look at the startup procedures. So my interest in the Vulcan goes back a long way. The Vulcan itself is a pretty old aircraft actually. It was commissioned in the late 50s, but way ahead of its time. The Vulcan was an aircraft that was, in my opinion, years ahead of its time. And I first saw the Vulcan flying at the Farnborough Air Display when I was only about 12 years old, so that was pretty much 50 years ago. It was a very old grainy video filmed on what was then called a Super 8, a brick of a camera. And yes, we did have colour film in those days, but you can see it's a majestic aircraft, and JustFlight have done a great job representing that. So when you download it from the JustFlight site, and you'll unpack, unzip the file into a separate folder, and then install it as an administrator. So when you start up, you'll start up on the runway that you've selected. The aircraft will be configured for takeoff, so all the 4 engines will be running. You'll be sat on the runway and you'll be in the cockpit. Okay, so they can move around the cockpit first using the hat switch. So press down first, and then pressing up we can move from the left hand seat into the right hand seat and view the controls and back again. Second way to move around the cockpit is using the Control plus the number keys. So you can see here you can move around from first the dashboard, then to the various navigator and engineering positions, radios, fuel, down to the autopilot panel. This is a really key panel, Control 7, and we'll come back and look at this iPad in a little bit more detail. Then the engine controls, and finally the lights and other electronics. And then last, Control 0 is the cockpit view. Other ways to move around, there are hotkeys around the cockpit. So if you click on these areas that go blue, you can move backwards and forwards between the panels, and if you click on these areas you can move between the settings. Back to the iPad. Again, moving around the settings, so you can move to the air operator's position. We'll need that when we go through the startup, various settings, so you can set the startup position, ready for takeoff, ready for start, or cold and dark, and we'll come back to the start from cold and dark later. You can attach ground power, you can attach the air power, attach and remove the chocks, open the bomb doors and the crew door in the external view. And then across the top menu, various settings around the so cockpit and pilot, so you can bring pilots in. If you go through the views and you have a pilot in the way, so the pilot's arm here is in the way of the lights and the electronic panel, then you can go back here, deselect the pilot, and you'll be able to see the panel again. These are external settings for the aircraft, so tanker, engines, aerials. This is a keypad, and we'll see this again in the startup procedure for setting the fuel load for the aircraft, comms channels, and finally some miscellaneous settings. So one problem you might find, you can see here the two bottom engines are not actually spooling up. So you'll need to go into your settings, select your throttle, search for throttle, and you'll probably find that you've got throttle 1 and 2 are configured, but throttles 3 and 4 are not. So you're only spooling up 2 of the engines. So you simply need to go in, select throttle 3 first, allocate that to your first throttle lever, and then do the same with throttle 4, so that all 4 engines will spool up. Now as we take off in full power, you can see here the butt kicker on the chair enjoys this, and even downstairs in the kitchen, even with the vibration pads on the floor, the Vulcan makes an impression. And in the air, the Vulcan is majestic to fly. You just need to make sure that you don't back off the power too much, otherwise you'll get a warning. You just need to then increase the throttle, increase the power and the speed to stabilize. That's all I've got for you in this video. If you liked it, please like it, subscribe if you want to be notified when other videos are uploaded, and leave any comments. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll catch you next time.